A player can be born under one flag, raised under a second, and somehow end up playing international football for a third. That's not hypothetical. It happens on purpose with FIFA's full blessing, not a workaround some clever agent found. An actual rule written down, voted on, agreed to by every federation in the room. By the end of this, you'll be able to look at almost any World Cup squad and spot exactly which players got there this way. Here's exactly how it works. Before any of this happens, every player needs what FIFA calls eligibility, a real, provable connection to a country. 3 ways in. You were born there, a parent was born there, or a grandparent was born there. There's a fourth, newer option too. 5 straight years of residency after turning 18, no breaks, no shortcuts. That link is the only thing that decides who you're even allowed to consider playing for. Not where you grew up watching matches, not which jersey you owned as a kid. A genuine, documented connection, or nothing. Here's where it gets strict, and here's the detail almost nobody mentions correctly. Step onto the pitch in a friendly, and nothing happens. No commitment, no lock. Friendlies don't count. But the moment you appear in a competitive senior match, a real qualifier, a real tournament game, you're tied to that country. FIFA calls this being capped. 1 appearance. That's the line. Cross it, and the door behind you swings shut. This isn't FIFA being needlessly strict for fun, although it does sometimes feel that way. It's protection. Remove this rule, and the richest federations would simply shop the planet for talent every time a tournament approached. No loyalty, no identity, no long-term squads at all. Just whoever can offer the most money and the shiniest stadium. So FIFA built a wall. Whether you like the wall or not, it's the only reason international football still means something. Except walls eventually get doors. In 2021, FIFA quietly rewrote part of the system. If a player picked up only a small handful of senior caps for their first country and did so while still young, they can apply once to switch allegiance to a second nation they qualify for. Not a loophole some lawyer found buried in a footnote. A rule FIFA itself wrote on purpose, specifically to fix a problem they created. Spain has lived through this. So has Morocco. 1 forward played a single senior match for Spain. A few unremarkable minutes, nothing dramatic. Then years later walked out at a World Cup wearing Morocco's badge instead. Same player, different anthem. Completely legal, completely documented, with FIFA's own signature on the paperwork. Here's the part almost everyone gets wrong. So stay with this for a second. This is not free agency. It's not a transfer window for international careers. You get exactly 1 switch, ever. The number of appearances allowed before that switch is small and specific. The age window is narrow and enforced. And once you've made the change, there is no going back. And there is no doing it a second time, no matter how your form improves or how many fans complain on social media. 1 switch, 1 age cutoff, 1 final decision, locked in permanently. FIFA didn't open a door so much as crack one open just wide enough for a very specific kind of player to slip through, and then close it immediately behind them. This matters more right now than it ever has. The 2026 World Cup expanded to 48 teams, which means federations who used to scrape together 11 players are now competing seriously for actual depth. Smaller nations are doing real scouting work, not for raw talent alone, but for eligibility. For players who picked up a few senior minutes elsewhere years ago, never fully committed, and quietly qualify for somewhere else. Whether you like it or not, that search is reshaping rosters at this exact tournament. So next time you're watching a squad list and a name looks slightly out of place for that flag, now you know exactly why. So here's the entire system, collapsed into one shape. Every player starts with eligibility through birth, parents, grandparents, or 5 years of residency. Friendlies don't bind you. One competitive senior appearance usually does, permanently. But since 2021, a narrow one-time exception lets certain young, lightly capped players switch allegiance instead. One switch, one window. No reversals, no repeats. Not a scandal, not a workaround. A rule built on purpose, now quietly deciding which flag the player next to your favorite striker is actually wearing. The game has not changed. You have. You're welcome. Subscribe if you enjoyed this type of content. It means a lot.